Good morning. It is currently 8:28 and I'm alone in the house, which is my absolute favorite. This morning is my favorite kind of day because it's really cool, but the sun's shining and I know that it's going to warm up and be really nice about lunchtime. So I always, from the days when I took my kid to school every morning, she's big now, she doesn't need me, but I would walk her to school and then I would keep walking. That would be my wake up and my exercise, and just really nice to walk in the cool of the morning every day. So that's what I'm going to do this morning is do my skincare, do some sunscreen and then go for a walk. So I've brushed my teeth and just going to put on some lip balm. This one, the downstairs one, is Biossance Squalene Rose Vegan Lip Balm or something like that. This one's, it's nice. It doesn't last long. I have a Laneige one that I use at night time and it lasts for hours. This one's good for under makeup or good, you know, as a one that you reapply through the day. It's not very sticky and I like that. I don't like that it's in a pot, but they repackaged it. I ran out of this and I jumped on Sephora, which is the only place you can get it in Australia, and I grabbed literally the last one. It told me it was the last one, and then when it came back in stock, it came back in stock in a tube. So these last forever, so I won't be having a tube for a while. So that's the first step. Now I've got to wash my face. I like LMS Superfood AHA Glow Cleansing Butter. This one's got, as you would expect, AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids. It's like a gel. Sorry, this is a really shit place to film, but it's what I got. It's a cleanser. You can use it as a makeup remover. You can use it as just a second cleanse or like your morning cleanse. And you can use it as a bit of a exfoliating mask. So usually what I do is put it on, brush my teeth, potter around upstairs and grab my clothes, calm down, get in the shower and wash it off in the shower. And that gives it between 2 and 5 minutes to do the actives on my skin. Damp cloth. People on the internet say make it warm, but I can't be bothered to wait for the water to warm up, so I do it cold. This one you can do over your eyes. Well, I can, it doesn't sting, but you've got to be careful with exfoliating cleansers that they are suitable for your eyes. Face is damp. When I get out of the shower, when my face is damp, the first thing I'll do is La Roche-Posay Zinc. It is a zinc face mist. This one's from Priceline, but you can buy it online as well. The zinc is good for your skin barrier. So when my skin was good, I don't know if you can see my friends at the minute, but when I didn't have spotty skin, this is really good at keeping it in check. Now that I do get hormonal spots really badly, because I've got hormonal contraception at the minute, I'm going to have to go back to a dedicated vitamin B. But this was good. If you have pretty clear skin, this should be fine. Do you need it? Probably not. I found by helping my skin barrier, it didn't just help the spots, it helped the redness. I used to get really red in my cheeks and on my nose. My nose is still red and that's just damage. When I was using retinol, that was clearing up, but I gave up the retinol. But just repairing my skin barrier has made a difference. Especially when I'm working out. When I'm working out really hard, you know how you turn into like a tomato and it stays like that forever? After I worked on my skin barrier, that stopped. Like I could be really red while I was working out and then it would recover really fast. This is Clinique Moisture Surge Eye Gel. This is a mini travel that I got as a gift with purchase. It's essentially clear. Can you even see that? It's clear. It's got little like little dots of stuff in that you're supposed to make sure are popped before you put it on your eyes. This stuff is great if you have a dry or a dehydrated under eye. I'm just doing it here in the screen. It's full of hydrating factors, and I think the pink version has salicylic acid as well. Oh, don't quote me on that. Salicylic acid will help with milia, which I do have. I'm prone to it, so I've just given up caring. Alright, so that's the eye, and then the first serum that I use is Kiehls Clearly Corrective Dark Spot Solution. It's supposed to go on, you know, like when you have a pimple that's fading. Go on this side. I don't know that I actually have any. Oh, here. That's actually a spot that's fading, and you get those red marks. It's called hyperpigmentation. And so it's supposed to just like dot onto those parts. I use it all over. It's just an antioxidant, and antioxidants help your skin be hydrated, but they also help them be bright and what's the word I want? Even skin tone, which is getting rid of that pigmentation. I was hoping that it would help with my sunspots as well. No. But it works amazingly on the hyperpigmentation, so I'm going to keep using it, and I'll probably repurchase this one when I'm out. I should be taking it down here, and I never do. I never show this area off anyway. Never gets sun, so I just don't think of it. Okay, so first eye serum, first face serum, second eye serum. It seems excessive, but it really only takes me 5 minutes in the morning. This is the Inculist Caffeine Eye Cream. And caffeine stimulates blood flow. It dilates the blood vessels. And so when you have puffiness, letting the blood come through helps reduce the puffiness. It helps, it constricts the skin to pull it tighter, and it lets the blood flow. So usually I'm puffy under the eyes first thing. I'm puffy up here anyway, genetically and getting older. And back in the pre-mask days, I'm gonna put it here as well. And that makes a difference, but it's really drying. So I always go in with my moisture first, which was the Clinique one, and then this one. And then I'll put more moisture over the top of it because I am nearly 40 and I'm starting to notice dryness under my eyes, and the caffeine doesn't help, but the benefits of the caffeine are worth it. Serum 2 is hyaluronic acid. I have 2 of them that I use together. So this is Boost Lab 2D Hydra Boost. I can't read that backwards. Oh, Hydra Boost Serum. This one's a really cheap Australian brand. It's only $30. It's great. It's got 2 weights of hyaluronic acid. You want different molecular weights to penetrate different layers of your skin. And this one's fantastic for the price. Absolutely rate it. And with it, I mix my Tan Super Glow, which is a self-tanning, a gradual tanner. So I just do a couple of drops of that every day. And then, because that's not enough for my whole face, and it's not hydrating enough for my whole face, I mix it with the Boost. It's my potions. I mix them together just in my hand like that and pop it on. And a little bit of the tan every day keeps my skin at a warmth that I really like. I don't go nuts. I just, especially when my iron was really low, which is when I started using it, it just put some life back in my face, a bit of colour. I don't think it's really that noticeable. I just look well, and that's what I'm aiming for, is well. And sometimes I'll ramp it up when I'm having one of those days where I'm just really feeling myself, but normally I'm chilling it, just that little bit. And that sinks in really fast. That's done. Then it's my final eye serum. This one is Kiehls again. I'll read that. Powerful Strength Line Reducing and Dark Circle Diminishing Vitamin E Serum with Tripeptide and Hyaluronic Acid. Basically, it's a vitamin C in a silicone base. Vitamin C is hard to stabilize, so it's like that. It's a cream. I was using it with the matching face cream, serum, but again, that's the face one. It's called Powerful Strength Line Reducing Concentrate, which is empty now. Didn't rate it that much, but the eye cream came in like a Christmas gift set with it. So it was only 15 bucks, so I'll use it until it's used up. It's just not dark circle diminishing, but it is vitamin C and it is hydrating. And because it's silicone, it acts like spac filler in all the lines under my eyes. So it's actually a really nice base for concealer because it just makes a smooth base. But because it's silicone, it has to go on last because nothing will penetrate that silicone layer. So even though I would normally use the vitamin C first, I'd certainly do on the rest of my face, use that antioxidant first. Because it's silicone, it goes last. Nearly done. This is my face cream at the minute. It is Origin's GinZing Oil-Free Energy Boosting Gel Moisturizer. I love a gel cream moisturizer, so it's that kind of texture. It's not a sticky gel. It's not a thicker cream. It's just, it feels lovely. This one has vitamin C in it, and I think it has GinZing, which is where the range gets its name. It smells citrusy, which I love. It feels nice and cooling. It doesn't feel tingly, which I should say about the Kiehls eye one as well. It is not tingly. Some vitamin C's, you know, it's got vitamin C in it because your skin tingles. I feel this one just gives me a bit of life. It gives me a bit of, not glow. Let's say glow. It's not sweatiness. It's glow. It's health. It makes me look like I'm a person who's got their shit together. In theory. And then sunscreen is always your last skincare layer. I've got 3 on the go. I've got, oh, this one's so run out. Look at it, it's squished. This one's Aspect SPF 50 Envirostat on the go. They do this in a taller bottle as well, also Envirostat. This on the go packaging is exactly the same formula. It's just way easier to use and it's cheaper. So highly recommend that one. But it's lovely. It's thick on the skin. You have to warm it up before you can rub it in. But then I really like it. It doesn't make me feel greasy at all. But it's not sitting nicely under masks, and it's mask time. So not this one today. Also, Roche-Posay Anthelios is always a fallback. They reformulated this one, and this one's more mattifying, so again less greasy on my skin. And this one's fine. I don't love it, but it'll do, you know, like I will choose this one if I'm not wearing makeup because it doesn't play nicely with my makeup. I think there's silicones in it, and they don't sit nicely with the makeup that I use. Ultraviolet, which is an Australian brand. This is their lean screen. Ultraviolet is really about that glow. And so if you are prone to oily skin at all, like me, I've got combination skin, so during the day I'll get oily here and oily here. And with the normal ultraviolet stuff, I just feel like a grease ball and I hate it. They put fragrance in it too. I hate fragrance. I hate rose fragrance, which is what they use. But this one is pure zinc. It's just a mineral sunscreen and there's no fragrance. And it's 50 plus. And it's tinted because it's zinc, which I was not into to begin with, but it makes sense. If you are a darker skin tone, I don't know how you'd go with this. This one's fine. It is more expensive than the other 2 that I use, which is why I wanted to hate it, because I'm like, well, I've tried it and I hated it and I will not go back to it, but it's actually okay. So that's the one that I'm going for today. I've got a pump. I need about, if it comes out, let me squeeze it down, about 4 of these, which looks like a big old pile of sunscreen. and that will do, warm it up a bit so it moves. That will do my face, my neck, the back of my neck, my ears. It is tinted and it does come off on my mask a bit, but it's tinted in like it's just a evening out your skin tone kind of thing. I feel like here in this light, I don't even know that you'll be able to tell the difference, but if you can, that's awesome. You'll be able to know what I'm talking about. Get it in my ears. I need to buy a new hat. All the hats I have at the moment are caps, which is fine for now, but once we get into full on a lot of time outside in the sun, I'm going to need a real hat. And the hat that I was using the last couple of years, I spilled coffee on. It's a pale colour and I spilled coffee on it and it's so noticeable. And it didn't come out when I tried to wash it out. So that's my sunscreen. That's me done. That's me done. So I would say that takes me probably 5 minutes in the morning. I will do a layer of skincare, do a layer of clothes, then a layer of skincare, and then a layer of clothes until I get to SPF. I do SPF, let that settle in, and then do makeup on top of it if I'm wearing makeup, which is not today because it's just a home day. I do have to go out later, but there's no point wearing makeup to the physio, so I will do that later. Let me know if you have any questions or recommendations. If you're watching this, you'll know that I used to have a skincare blog that got left to the wayside because I was sick. And I really miss it, actually. I really miss it. All right, I am going to get dressed and go for a walk now. I just was thinking I should explain the reason why I talk about 2 bathrooms is we do have 2 bathrooms in this house and only one of them has a shower. So my morning skincare lives in the bathroom that has the shower. And then my evening skincare is in the bathroom next to the bedrooms. So that just makes sense for me. Does mean I have to double up on some products because there are products that you would use in both routines. And it's basically because I'm lazy. So I'm not going to the other bathroom to do my evening skincare when I could just do it here upstairs. So that's how that rolls. If you want to see my evening routine, let me know and I will show you that one time too. Now I've got to get dressed. This is a really lightweight jumper that I picked up from the kids section of Target, back when we had a Target. I don't know if I'm going to regret it. I don't know if I'm going to get too warm, but let's go for a walk. So physio's done. My hip really hurts now, but only because it's tired. The first move that we did on the reformer machine was hard, and then everything else was hard, but that's the point. So in the meantime, I'm making coffee because it is definitely coffee o'clock. And then accidentally turn that kettle off. Accidentally on the way home, I walked past the sports shop on my way home from the physio and I've accidentally bought myself new shoes. This is probably not the normal way to show shoes, but they are Brooks Adrenaline GTS. I don't know what year these are. They must be 21s. And they look like purple. with light purple and a bit of shiny purple. But that was not a planned purchase. I was just walking past and I thought, you know what? My feet hurt and my shins hurt and I've been hurting for a couple of weeks and I'm sick of whinging about it. So you either quit your bitching or you do something about it. Coffee now. I'm still making my coffee. Stuff on the screen again. Still making my coffee. I just had to go and take off my chastity belt. It's just annoying me. It's really, I mean, it's supportive, but the way that it sits around at the top of my hips, it gives me spectacular muffin top. And there are just some days when that's not good for my mental health. Sometimes your mental health, no, not sometimes, your mental health is as important as your physical health, but sometimes you have to balance which one is your priority in the moment. So that's my balance. There's been a lot of discussion happening at the minute. The largest town near me is Albury on the New South Wales Victorian border, and it's full of coronavirus at the moment. And when I say full, I mean there's yesterday there was 23 cases, I think. I haven't seen any numbers for today. So that's more than anyone would like. It's definitely more than Albury has had. And it's concerning because regional hospitals have no capacity for COVID patients. So that's concerning. I do have to go there actually. I have to go this afternoon to take Kiehling to the orthodontist. But that's okay. That's just a quick in and out. We don't have to touch things or talk to people or anything. But it's concerning because, of course, everybody's going to get tested, which is perfect. That's exactly what should happen. But they're closing testing centres at 9 a.m. because capacity is full. So if you're open till 4 and you've closed the queue at 9, 1, how long are those people going to spend in the queue waiting to be tested? And 2, what if you need to be tested and you can't get in the queue? Especially if you have symptoms. Like, are these people getting tested because they've been to sites or because they've had symptoms? Of course, you need to have a test to get sick leave, don't you? Oh, it's such a mess. It's an absolute mess. But I'm supposed to be having day surgery next week, and which is an absolute mess because of the time that I have to take off work, because I have to have a negative COVID test within 72 hours of admission to hospital, which seems reasonable, except I only have a 3-hour window on a Saturday afternoon where I can get that test. And then I have to isolate from then on. So it means missing work, not just for my surgery, but prior, because I'm in isolation until my surgery. So that was fine. I thought that's going to be a stretch, but it's a doable stretch, you know, like I might have to wait in the queue for ages on Saturday afternoon after work, but I could do it. But now I think that queue will be closed at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning when I am at work, and I will not get the test to go to hospital, which is stressful. That's obviously a stressful moment for me. I don't know if I should risk it. Oh, how am I going to manage the camera and the coffee? One is more important than the other. So it's stressful because do I even attempt it on Saturday, or do I just make the call earlier in the week, like now, to postpone my surgery? But then, who can say if the situation will ever resolve itself, or do I just wait till the hospital implements rapid antigen testing and I can just be tested on admission? So that's where I'm at with that. It's very stressful, but also the reason I need the surgery is stressful. And yesterday I was in such a rage all day. Like, I was viciously angry at everything, and it's because of that. It's because of my stupid period. It's not even my stupid period, it's my stupid uterus. I have adenomyosis, which is similar to endometriosis in that it wrecks everything. And that's what we're trying to I don't think this surgery next week will solve it. It's only a day surgery. But it might be a stopgap until I can get a hysterectomy, which my surgeon has advised me will probably not happen because they cancelled elective surgery in Victoria, which is where the hospital is. And obviously, if it's not killing me right this minute, it's elective surgery. So that's my deep feels for today is stress. And so I'm going to add to stress with anxiety, with coffee. I have like 20 minutes, so I am going to spend it going through something I've been meaning to do for a long time. I started reading this. I started buying the Basics book, which are published by Routledge, because I was studying a new degree and just to give me some background. And now the degree's on hold because of health issues. I still want to do the reading. Sorry, I'm looking for the page in my notebook where I was taking notes. And it's been hard to get back to like spending some time to read and learn and study and take notes. And it's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm going to spend 20 minutes going through this. Like, it's a really tiny book. It's literary analysis. It addresses questions such as what counts as literature? Is analysis a dissection? How do gender, race, class, and culture affect the meaning of a text? All that stuff which I know basically from my history degree. You apply the same questions to historical sources, but this is literature. And so you're asking the same questions in a different framework to get a different response. And that is what I'm trying to learn. So I'm going to spend some time doing this. Just got a text saying that kiddo's orthodontist appointment has been cancelled. So, maybe they had contact there. So now I have to just go and email her and hope she gets it before the end of school so that she knows she's not going. BRB. All right. I've run out of time, but I've emailed the kid. I'm so grateful that I can contact her at school without having to call the office. I'm really thinking maybe I should bite the bullet and cancel my surgery next week as well. But I'm thinking that because I'm nervous about the surgery. I'm nervous about getting the COVID test. I would prefer to not take that time off work, even though I get paid leave, which is such a wild luxury. Oh my God. But still, I'm reluctant to take the time off, especially because other staff members are having time off next week for medical reasons as well. So in my head, all those arguments make sense, but I need to do it. It needs to be done. Well, you never know. The hospital might call me and cancel too, hey? I'm half dressed because I was literally getting changed into this dress that I've been making so I can show you how terrible it is and how I'm going to trash it. And I got a call from the hospital where I'm having my surgery next week, and they found a different solution for me to get a COVID test because I've probably already said Albury is riddled with COVID and they're closing testing centres at 9 a.m. Because there's just so much demand. So they've found me an emergency solution for my COVID test, but the lady I spoke to also said they cancelled all the surgery this week and they will probably cancel all the surgery in my category next week. Although that does cut it really fine with the getting the results. But anyway, that is a massive load off my mind either way. I'm not particularly, it's not a drama if the surgery is cancelled, like I said before. So you will know next week. It's a cliffhanger because it's a cliffhanger for me too. Anyway, let me pop this dress on and I can show you how dodgy it is. What is going on with this hair? Okay, I don't have a full length mirror, so this is what we're working with. So this is my dress. It's really long. It comes to, can you see that? It comes to my knees. That's probably the easiest thing to fix. The first thing I've noticed is it's too big, which I suspected because, look at it, because I just did not understand what the pattern was trying to say to me. So I went for a size larger than I would normally would. This is a size 14, and then I probably haven't used the seam allowance that it provides because I just don't understand. That's because I put a dress on. I just don't understand how that works, so I ignored it and pretended it didn't exist. The zip is sketchy as, I don't know, if I do this, can you see the zip? I'll cut it out if you can't. It's so bad. It's terrible. Anyway, I like the colour. The waist does not line up. Anyway, as sketchy as it is, I think I will use it as a bum around the house dress in summer. It's really light. It's a linen-y feel. I don't think it's actual linen. How does it crease? Creases pretty good. So, can you see this? I managed to get fluff on it, putting away the iron and the ironing board, and now the fluff won't come off again. So it's lived in now. This is just how it has to be. The foot came off the machine and I can't get it back on. So I've just given up, which is like the bottom isn't hemmed either, because of that reason. Only took, like many hours and many tears, and I will never do it again. I finished the thing, I'll just hem the bottom once I get somebody to put the foot back on my machine. And then it will be done, and then I can clean off the table and replace it with something else crafty that I only half finished. Many hours later, and I'm back at my desk. It's currently 4:22, so that gives me about 40 minutes to keep going with this reading. I've got some coffee, but this time it's decaf because it's so late in the afternoon. But I'm actually feeling really good. I feel like I've done a lot today, a lot more than I would usually accomplish in like the new times, the new me times, where I'm learning to manage my expectations about what I can get done versus what I used to be able to get done. So I've been reading lots of nonfiction in my spare time. Actually, I'm reading a book at the moment. I might have said this last week, reading a book about swear words, the history of swear words, and how swearing is the sacred and the profane is how it's usually categorized. But this book is called Holy Shit. I think I just said that, which is the sacred and the profane. But how over time it's been the holy, or it's been the shit, or it's been both, or it's dropping off and becoming neither. Over time, how the holy and the shit are very similar, but which one has more prominence, which one is more offensive, I'm finding fascinating. So I'm up to the Victorian era at the moment. I've gone through like Latin and the Bible and medieval, and now I'm into and early modern. Although annoyingly, the author in the book kept calling it the Renaissance in England, which is not a thing. It's the Renaissance happened in Italy, and it happened a long time before the early modern period in the rest of Europe, as it's categorized broadly by historians. But I let it slide. She also made a comment when she was talking about early modern stuff and in Latin dictionaries, and how dictionaries were produced in the early modern period to reacquaint people with Latin if they, it wasn't super common until the early modern period, and obviously the Renaissance in Italy, where scholars and people of education got reacquainted with Greek and Latin texts. And so there was these dictionaries produced, including the swears and words for genitalia, which is swear words, like the C word, for example. And I can't remember exactly what she says, but one word was translated as the labia majora, or it could be the labia minora, or it could be the vagina as a whole. And I thought, oh, that's an American way to put it, isn't it? Because it's not the vagina as a whole, it's the vulva. that made me a bit cross. But more cross is referring to the early modern period as the Renaissance in England. That's not a thing. If you take anything away from my ranting today, that is what you should take away. So I'm going to go read. Have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday.